Good evening. How are you doing? How's it going? You good? You're good. It's day three. It's the 7th of January. Yeah, day three of the London lockdown. How's it going? How's everyone doing? This is the third lockdown in London. I think a lot of places in Europe have only had two lockdowns, and America is just a free for all. Um, yeah, how are you doing? What's going on where you are? I want to hear stories from around the world. Tell me about tell me about what your life in lockdown has been like. Um, what are you looking forward to this year? It's like, I mean, there's only been about a month. Uh, yeah, it's about a month since I last did one of these proper sort of diaries. Um, and now I'm doing it again. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, today in the UK, there were 52,618 new cases and 1,162 deaths. That's pretty astounding. Of course, Twitter was all aflame today with everything that happened last night. What's going on in Washington D.C. was pretty insane. Um, it all seems to be over now, and now they're talking about, oh, should we impeach Donald Trump? Should we, like social media are like, well, maybe now is the time to ban him. It wasn't before, but now is a good time. It's only 2 weeks left, but yeah, maybe now is the good time to take away his mouthpiece. It's all fucking nonsense, really. But so I have no problem with banning Trump, but you see, there's going to be a massive fight for free speech very soon. Um, and we kind of saw it with Talk Radio here in the UK. I think it's Talk Radio, and they were removed from YouTube. I don't know, a couple of days ago because they were accused of spreading misinformation about Corona, and it's going to be interesting because we're like, part of me is like, well, it's up to Google and YouTube and Twitter and etc. to say what they allow or who they don't allow on their platform. If they want white supremacists, it's up to them to allow that, and it's for the law to say no, they're not allowed to. Um, and so there's a lot of people being today talking about, oh, yes, we need to get white supremacists and we need to get um, nasty people off, these platforms. I don't disagree, but I question where we start drawing the line. It's um, the old adage of sort of like one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. Now, I'm not saying that any of the people yesterday were freedom fighters, but there could be a time when the shoe is on the other foot. Um, when maybe the left needs to do similar things that the right were doing. Um, so I think the next couple of years there's going to be a massive battle, and I think Biden and the Democrats are going to toughen up, and it's going to be really interesting to watch. There'll be a lot of people who will be cheering, but I'm not sure that they've totally thought through the consequences of their actions. It's like the people who say, oh well, end to end, like things like Telegram or Signal or WhatsApp, they should contain backdoors so that police can track paedophiles and people who swap child porn online. And the question is, where does it end? It might be fine that they track paedophiles right now, but in the future, what if they start tracking, you they start tracking you for disagreeing with the government, something like that. So we have to be careful what we wish for. That's my thoughts. Um, in other news, though, they attempted to bring back clap. Remember this? Oh God, it was back in the first lockdown. First lockdown, kind of at the start, middle-ish. In the UK, someone like in Europe, they'd been clapping for carers and first responders. I think it maybe started in Italy. Um, they were clapping from their rooftops and balconies for the first responders, and then because Britain is not original, they copied it. Someone copied it anyway, and that went on for about 8 weeks or so, possibly less, depending on where you were. And then everyone got bored of it, and they tried to. They're like a lot of news organisations this week were like, "Oh, we're going to start it again," and the person who copied it in Britain was like, "Oh, we're going to bring it back this Thursday." Um, no one clapped around me. It seems like uh, the person who tried to start it has distanced themselves from it, mostly because of online abuse, which is pretty sad. But I mean, really, it kind of felt like a bit of a desperate attempt for them to stay relevant still. Um, yeah. Did anyone clap where you were? I didn't. I'd say. I mean, it's -2 here in London. No one wants to be outside clapping for anyone. Um, yeah, I don't know if anyone actually bothered or anyone remembered clapping. I think a lot of people are too glued to their sets about what's going on in America. Look, I've been speaking for too long, so I'm going to leave it there. Look, so be good, be safe, wash your hands. Corona, you're over. You got this. You got this. We got this. Fight the power.